Azerbaijan held the snap presidential elections on February 7th. Ilham Aliyev, incumbent president, has gained 92.1% of the vote, according to preliminary results from the Election Commission. This is Aliyev's fifth consecutive term in office. My colleague Baljan Samigulina, who has examined the topic, is here in our studio right now. Baljan, good evening. Why do you think Azerbaijan opted for the snap elections?
Good evening, Ainur. Yes, there was not due to be elections until 2025, but President Aliyev called the snap elections after the country successfully took back the former breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh in 2023. More details in a couple of seconds. The recent election, the first since Azerbaijan gained control of Nagorno-Karabakh, saw a turnout of over 76% of eligible voters. President Aliyev and his family voted in the capital of Nagorno-Karabakh. Also, there are other candidates, major opposition parties like the Popular Front of Azerbaijan and the Musayed Party boycotted the vote due to insufficient time for preparation and signature collection. Richard Griasyan, director of an independent think tank, attributes the snap election to the events in September and the victory in Karabakh War.
What we see is Azerbaijan's move to hold an election a year early. Much of the reason is based on Azerbaijan's victory in expelling the Armenians and retaking control of Nagorno-Karabakh. This is an effort by President Aliyev to consolidate power and authority. And as he has emerged from the shadow of his predecessor, his own father, this is important in terms of a mandate to govern for President Aliyev.
President Aliyev himself also cited the return of Karabakh to Azerbaijani control as the primary reason for the early presidential elections, marking a new era for the country. The region had been under ethnic Armenian control since 1994, after years of separatist conflict. Azerbaijan regained parts of the territory in a 44-day war in September 2023, prompting a surge of support in Azerbaijan. Despite winning the conflict, a peace treaty with Armenia remains unsigned. Zaur Mamadov, chairman of the Baku Club of Political Scientists, argued that the snap elections were necessary for the country's transition to a new phase of development.
The snapping of the elections a year earlier is explained by the fact that Azerbaijan has already completed the first stage of its statehood in 30 years, in the sense that the main task facing Azerbaijani society, the deoccupation of Azerbaijani lands, was completed in autumn 2023, which means that the issue of separatism is closed.
Azerbaijan is an oil-rich country located between Europe and Asia, which had been a part of a former Soviet Union. The country faced a series of military coups since gaining independence in 1991. 2 years later, Heydar Aliyev concentrated power, becoming a leader of Azerbaijan. Later, he was succeeded by his son Ilham Aliyev, who has become the most long-standing president of the oil-rich country in South Caucasus region. In 2009, Aliyev conducted a referendum on constitutional amendments, enabling unlimited number of terms for a single individual and extending the presidential term from 5 to 7 years in 2016.
This election marked a significant shift in the political landscape. Previously, the primary concern revolved around when Azerbaijan would reclaim Karabakh and if victory over Armenia was achievable. Now, as a victorious nation, Azerbaijani citizens are casting their votes based on their preferences. It's evident that with the Azerbaijani army's success under Ilham Aliyev's leadership, the society is likely to support him.
Now, after getting an assertive win, Ilham Aliyev will keep reintegration of Karabakh into Azerbaijan as the main focus of his office. Another priority is cooperation within OTS, Organization of Turkic States, experts noted.
Well, what I do see strategically is Azerbaijan is very much the pivotal path or avenue for Turkey to re-engage Central Asia. Azerbaijan in this context is actually a transit state and not the destination.
И в Азербайджане делают акцент во внешнеполитической...
Azerbaijan is prioritizing its foreign policy engagements with Central Asian countries. It appears that while maneuverability may have been limited before the war, there are now opportunities for deeper relations, including with Kazakhstan. The communication route linking Central Asia to Europe via Azerbaijan holds particular significance, suggesting that both countries are likely to capitalize on these resources.
Since Ilham Aliyev's win is confirmed, he will be set up for another 7 years in power. Observers say that the main hope for the country is to gain long-awaited stability in the region. Ainur, that's it for Explainer section today. Giving floor back to you.
Thank you very much. Baljan Samigulina with your Explainer section on snap presidential elections joined our studio.